What about having them pay for a proposal?
Yes.
You talk about that, and I'm not to that. Let me just not act tough on camera.
But you could do it your way. You could charge for test drives. Do you know how many tire kickers would be eliminated? Tesla used to do it. You want to ride a Tesla? Yeah, you got to pay 50 quid for the test ride. And even if you weren't going to buy the car, we don't fucking care. You paid 50 quid just to go for a joyride. So you can do it. There's a reason people drive around with the word free quote on their vans, is because at some point people used to pay for all of this stuff. Someone had the bright idea of doing it for free to distinguish themselves, and now everybody does it. People pay for things if you frame it correctly. Yeah? You can't just say, oh, we're going to charge you for the quote. It's not going to work. You have to build up to that. You have to get them.
But if I'm cold calling in and I get enough interest to set an appointment to have a meeting, in person or video call, whatever, how do I transition to, and here's what it costs for you to get this proposal?
Right. Well, at the beginning of the meeting, I would stipulate what's going to happen at the end. So I'd say, look, by the end of this meeting, if you genuinely don't think I'm a fit or I can move forwards with you, are you able to tell me no today? Now, no one who makes a decision can never, ever says, no, I can't give you a no. It's always, I'll give you a no, Benjamin. I can tell you to fuck off if I want to. Don't worry about that. I go, great. Likewise, if I don't think I can sell to you or I don't think what we have's right for you, would you be pissed off if I told you no? Can't help you. And they look at me and they go, no, that's fine. I'd rather know today if this can't move forward. Okay. And if we don't say no to each other, then we need to move forward, agree a next step. Would you be comfortable doing that at the end? And they go, of course. And now I've got them where I want them. And then I drop in. Oh, shall I tell you what the next step in my world is? Because I've only got one. And if you don't like it, you may as well know now. No one ever says, no, fuck off. Let's leave it as a surprise to the end. You know, I tell them. So this is the deal. If you decide that you want one of our cars or you're interested in buying one of our cars, we're going to let you take it on a test drive. We're going to let you drive around Florida. We're going to give you a range of about 100 miles. You can spend a good 90 minutes in the vehicle if you like. You can put it through all the tests and paces. Do what you want with it, obviously within legal reasons and da-da-da-da-da. And then you bring it back to us. And at the end of that, if you like it, you buy it. And if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. How does that sound to you? And I go, yeah, that's fucking idea. That sounds fine. Now, obviously, we don't do that for free.
Okay. So that sounds beautiful. What about B2B software pitch?
B2B software. Again, we're happy to do a proposal, but you change the fridge. So I work with SaaS companies, and they'd have on their website free demo. I said, you've got to get rid of that. I said, can I ask you a question? What's the number one reason why your deals normally fall through? And the CEO of this company said, the number one reason. He goes, usually it's because the project gets overruled by senior management. Normally the owner or the MD says no. I go, well, why does that keep happening? He goes, it's just by the time the project makes it to their desk, they decide they don't want to do it or it's not what they wanted or what. I said, fuck. I go, so why do you keep doing this then? He goes, well, you got to. I go, so no, so now we're going to change it. So they started making it a rule. Whenever someone contacted them and said, we're interested, you said, we're happy to have a meeting with you. Company policy, though, we can only meet with you on one condition. What's that? Your managing director needs to be there. When they started telling people that the guy that ultimately signed the check had to be at the first meeting, suddenly the levels of people not buying dropped out. Secondly, they then changed it from a proposal to a scoping document. You just change language. And what they started doing is they said, look, so this is the deal. By the end of this meeting, if you genuinely don't believe you want to move forward, tell us no, blah, blah, blah. Shall I tell you what the next step would be if we decide that there is something here? Yeah. And then they explain what this document would look like, how it would be put together. We'll come and spend half a day at your office. We're going to need access to the following things, flippers, floppers. We're going to need to speak with A, B, C, and D. We're going to understand X, Y, and Z. We're then going to go away. We're going to design specifically the solution for you with our technology, and then we're going to present it back to you. It's going to be fully costed, fully timelined. It's going to tell you the things you may not want to know and the things that you're going to have to know. Yeah. And at the end of that process, you're going to say, all right, let's do it. Or I don't want to do this. How does that sound? And I go, that sounds good. Okay. And there's another thing. Do you know what you could do with this? There's 5 things you can do with our proposal. You can do nothing. You can shop it around. I can't stop you. You're going to do it anyway. Yeah. You could give it to your internal development team and say, can you do this?
Yeah, let's rip it off. Yeah.
Let's rip it off. I don't have a problem there. Or you could give it to us. Those are the options. And I go, yeah, fine. I go, okay. So how does that sound? You comfortable with that? Would you want it? Yes, that sounds like an ideal. Okay. Now, obviously, we don't do that for free. See, once you've got them saying they want the next step, you then say, this is a true story. I won't give his name, but the CEO of this company, the first time he had the courage to do this, phoned me up afterwards. And he said, I sold our first ever proposal. I said, how much did you get? He goes, £5,000. And I said, okay. So this is the big question. I said, what was the biggest takeaway from the experience? Because remember, their systems cost 150 to 200K. This is what we're talking with. So $5,000 seems like it, but it's not for something that big. Now we start. And I said, what was your biggest takeaway from the experience? He goes, the biggest one was his reaction. I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, I did exactly how we trained. I explained what it would look like and da-da-da-da-da. And I said to him, it'll be £5,000. And I said, he just looked at me and he said, seems reasonable. And he goes, for 20 years, we've been doing this for free because we thought we had to. And during COVID, the same guy phoned me up and said, in the last 18 months, we've sold 16 proposals and we've only not got one as the business. And each proposal was still $5,000. So they've made £90,000 plus they got a 98% close rate.
This has been Jeff Stearns, Connected Through Cars.